Welcome to the second part of this home building series. In this particular video, I'm going to be sharing about the people or the type of people that are prone to do well in the property space, and also that are going to be called or are called to work on the property space, or what type of people. For an example, besides that, in our culture, we know that a man is said to be the one who builds the house, who does the actual building, but a woman is actually the one who turns the house into a home. Now, this is what is interesting that I had found very interesting. Number one, the people that are prone to do well in the property space, it is the people that, one, they were raised by single mothers. If a person was raised by a single mother, those are the people that are going to be called into the property space, and they are most likely to do well in the property space. Two, the people that are going to also they do well or get called into the property space and they end up doing well are the people that are were raised from a broken family. For an example, a broken family, it is where somebody, the parents were together, and for whatever the reason they got divorced, or one of the parents died. Because I know when somebody dies, we don't regard that as a broken family, but the nature and the truth of it is that the union, it is broken. It's dissolved. So the people that come from those type of families where the father and the mother, they separated in whichever way, either it was voluntarily or involuntarily. Maybe they separated, and when you were there and you were part of that experience, then those people are prone to do well, because then they will end up with one of the parents, and in most cases they end up with the mother. And as a result, we all know the story of many of our African families where a man passes on. What actually happens in those instances, a mother is very likely that they will be either forced to be married, to remarry the other one of the brothers, or others, in other cases, somebody will be chased out of their home, because now it's believed that it's supposed to be the man who takes care of this house and looks after the house. So you as a woman, you're not capable, and then as a result, then there's this a friction that happens. Three, the other type of people that are most likely to do well in property, or that are going to be called or attracted more into the property industry, are people that were raised in families of where they or who are linked to what we call identity crisis, or people that were raised from families that they are not part of, like biologically, or by blood. What do I mean by that? People that were, for an example, your mother got you when she was single, and then she remarried a certain man, and after marrying that particular man, and then she went with you and stayed with you there with that man, and then you also took on the surname of that particular man, meaning that you are not using the surname of your biological parents, which is your mother or your father, but you are using a surname of somebody else who is related to these two people somehow. So those type of people are most likely to be called into the property space, because of this issue that is hovering around them, around their own identity. And then other one that they're also going to get called are the people where it is actually a woman that was abused, or a child that you saw abuse happening around them, to their mother. And it could be physical abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, or even physical abuse. Those children are most likely to be called into the property space, and they will, when they get into the space, obviously they will do so well because of the circumstances, not really the circumstances of the calling. Because what we need to understand is that whatever it is that we end up doing in life, we have been called to that particular space. We have been called for a reason to be in that space for there's things that we are meant to help do in those spaces. For an example, somebody who grew up, or another one that I forgot to mention, it is where there was property or property ownership disputes, where they were end up fighting as families. With us, there's this thing with there's this even the TV series called Kusekaya La, where people are all fighting over a home. Also, people who were brought up into the situation or experience those particular kind of things, they will then end up being part of the property business, and they will do well when they put their mind and everything into it. And why all of this is happening, why these particular people particularly are called, that is because, as I mentioned in the other video, a home, it is where a child is groomed. That is number one. A home, it is where a soul exists and expresses and gets an opportunity of expression. A home is a place, is the first place that educates a child. It is a place that gives you a certain education over and above what you are learning from school. The home, it is that space that allows you to get the best education, and which is through life experiences. So those particular people, because of the experiences that they've had, the experiences that they've gone through, and the circumstances or events that they've seen happening in their life, they already have a drive within them to change a particular situation. So then they will then now are the ones that will go in there and then be called to do more and more and more and more, and do well. Now, what is interesting that we also need to understand as people is that when you are in the property space, for an example, where you are having an issue of identity crisis, what you need to understand is that you are not just there to make money, but you are there to acquire the money so that you can help also change this identity issue that you are having. Because in a nutshell, if you are, for an example, I am Zwane, and then now I'm married in Zwane, and I was Mlangeni, and Mlangeni was not my mother's surname nor my father's surname. That meant if I had stayed as Mlangeni, I would have bought and built wealth under this surname that it is not mine. Now, what then means that the legacy that I am building, I'm going to be building the legacy and the name that I'm going to be growing or empowering. It is this name that it has got nothing to do with who I truly am. So what then happens in that particular case, if you do not go and do this aspect of you correcting that other aspect of yourself, where you connect with the correct name or surname, then it means you are going to be passing the very same while you are going to be acquiring these and doing all of these beautiful things and acquiring so many properties. But you will find yourself in issues and cases where there's identity issues that are going to be happening, or either you call fraudsters into your own life, or you call people that are scammers. Because why? You are like, wena yourself ufana nokuthi untshontshiwe where you are. So you will then, because you are carrying that energy and you are not conscious of it and you are not doing anything about it, you will find yourself entangled with energies of those type of people, and then you will constantly have to explain yourself and constantly have to I tell people that no, this is not me, this is forever being defensive, like defending yourself. Well, whilst what needs to be happening, you need to fix your surname issue. You need to be fixing your identity, your true identity issue, and making sure that you're getting yourself aligned in the right space so that you don't keep on this thing recurring over and over and over and over again. So that is what I want us to understand as we are building these homes, that we are not just building the home itself, the house itself. We're just not building the portfolio, but the most important question is whose legacy? Whose legacy? Because even if the mother or the father didn't do you well, or whatever the case may be, for an example, if you are using the first one, which is you're not using the right surname, if whatever the reasoning that made you to get there, it is very important that you take on the thing of changing that, because if you do not do that, you are exactly doing this, like perpetuating or passing on the very same thing, because whatever it is that you are going to be building, you are going to be building from a place that is not not fertile. So it's like you are building from you're not building from a solid foundation, and so forth, which is very important then that you do yourself right and make sure that you do the correction that you are supposed to do on your side. And then, yeah, I think as we get more and more into this, I will also be sharing some of the things that you are supposed to be doing and how and so forth. But for now, I just wanted to make you aware as to who are the type of people that are called. And then now look at your situation wherever you are and whoever you are, and look at the situation, which is, what is my situation? What is it that, what is the purpose? Why do I think I'm called here? And what are my experiences in this whole business, property business that I'm finding myself in? And then also that you know, so that you know what it is that you are also supposed to be doing over and above. Because what we need to understand is that when an awareness about anything, it is key for us to getting back into alignment or to healing deeper aspects of ourselves that we need to. So the first place is for us to do that. Thank you so much. Remember to subscribe, remember to subscribe, remember to share, remember to put in your comments so that we as many people can get into this particular video. Other than that, from me to you today, ngithi makwande kukhanye kube kuhle, thokozeni. Siyabonga.